Let's talk about removing and installing a new pedal. Hey guys, it's Tim from Bent Revolution in Odessa, Florida, and today we're going to talk about how to remove and install a pedal on your recumbent bike or regular bike. It doesn't really matter. So you just got your new trike or bike and you get home and go, yeah, I've got these cheap pedals that I kind of would like to upgrade. So maybe I should get something a little bit better than what came with the bike. So it's time to change the pedals. So how do you do it? Well, a lot of people would reach for just a regular open-end wrench, a 15mm wrench. And yeah, it can be done this way, but it's very difficult to get exactly the kind of leverage you need because the handle isn't really long enough to give you a good pop on the pedal. So what we do in the bike shop is we use a pedal wrench, which looks suspiciously like this. The pedal wrench gives you enough leverage to get the motion you need to get that pedal loose and tight properly. So the pedal will have a flat spot where the wrench fits. This one's got a lot of little flat spots where the wrench can fit on this fitting here. So you can see it gives you a good powerful turn. Some pedals, like this one that we're going to be switching to, does not have a flat to mount the wrench. This uses a hex wrench from this side. So you put the hex wrench in and then give it a spin and you can tighten or loosen it, whatever you need to do. So the thing that confuses most people about changing their pedals is that they are reverse threaded on the left side. The easy way to remember this, here's a quick tip for you. Pedals will loosen toward the back of the bike always, and they will always tighten toward the front of the bike, no matter which side of the bike you're on. So if we're on this and we find that flat spot, we loosen it by getting in a good position to get some leverage, put a wrench on there, and then just pull up toward the back of the bike. And then you can see the pedal is loosening. So once you get the pedal loose, you can just roll it off with your fingers or continue to use a wrench, whichever you prefer. Okay, since this is the left side, you can see there's some markings on here. Sometimes there'll be a letter, but here there's some vertical lines that indicate that this is the left pedal. Also, this has a 6mm hex wrench fitting, so you can use that as well. So now that we've got the pedal off, we're going to install the new pedal. This is one that's off of a different bike. But you can see here, it's got a tightening direction on this one. So this one indicates that it tightens this way, and this one would be the left pedal. Again, it's got an indicator of which way it tightens since there's no markings on the post. So with this kind of pedal, this is a nice two-sided pedal. We're going to take our 8mm wrench and we're going to slide it through the back of the crankset and get it fit into the pedal. And then we're just going to bring them together and spin it to the right, toward the front. So we're spinning toward the front to get that to tighten up. And you can just, once you get started, you can just spin it on there. Once you get it hand tight, you want to switch to this side of the wrench, put it back in, and give a good tightening to the pedal crank. You don't want pedals that are loose, so make sure you snug them up really tight with a wrench, or if it has a fitting, with this sort of device. So if you're taking off a pedal with this, without the wrench fitting, you'll need a hex wrench, and then same thing, you just put it in a position where you've got some mechanical advantage and give it a pull toward the back of the bike like this, and it'll loosen up. You'll feel it loosen up, and then you just spin it off. Now, something to be aware of on your crankset is if you have a crankset that looks like this, you'll see that little indentation here. If your crank has an indent, you need a pedal washer. Without the pedal washer, which looks like this, pretty thin little piece, you're going to be over tightening and could damage your crank, especially if you have a carbon crank. That could be a problem. Remember, if you're installing new pedals, you want to make sure you put some grease on the threads. Believe it or not, the threads will actually hold tighter with a little bit of lube on them, a little bit of grease, not lube. Don't use your chain lube. If you're putting on like a regular pedal like this, to get it started, you just introduce it to the threads, get it squared up, and then you can kind of just pedal it backwards and you'll feel it start to thread in. You should always start threading it by hand if possible to make sure you don't strip out the crank or the threads. And then you can just spin it quick and it's pretty well tightened up, but we want to give it a final cinching down with the pedal wrench. And that should be good. Woo! If you'd like to know more about different types of pedals that are available, check out the video that I've linked up here. And if you want to have any other comments or questions, just put them in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.